Oh man, look, dreams and nightmares, right? Y'all know the lyrics better than me, but I mean, I'm just a lowly rattler here, just trying to point out that be careful what you wish for. As my mama used to say, you want to kill you, but y'all already know what's up. It's Fangs up, baby.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
What's up, family? What's up, rattlers? Look, if you just caught AD Drew and Brian on BCSN, look, not gonna lie to you. Look, I had to cut it off a little short because I didn't know AD Drew was gonna do that to a brother. I was looking like I even text Brian. I was like, bro, you realize AD just hit like my whole show right there. But today's title, as you can see, dreams and nightmares. I mean, some of y'all might know, I used to pray like this for times like this, to rhyme like this. So I had to grind like this, to shine like this. In a matter of time, I spent some locked up expletives, dreams and nightmares. So if you're not familiar, it's a song by Meek Mills, and the kids love it. And look, if you want to get a party started, start playing. All of a sudden, everybody started doing like this, start singing the rhymes. What's up, Terror T? But the famous words per ID, this is a dream job. So I bring that into question. About a year and a half in, is this what you really, this what you was dreaming about? As my mom still says, you want to kill you. And in this case, whew, Rattlers, y'all wearing that lady out. Look, I saw the picture the other day. She was mad. But look, for those who are so inclined, like myself, pops, I'm getting size tomorrow because I don't know my ring size anymore because I can't fit my finger or inside of my ring. Work accident. But national championship rings are available for both the HBCU national championship for Celebration Bowl and for golf. Which for the golf one, I don't know. Like two to me, two to you. I don't know how I feel about that one. Like that was one of those ones I'm kind of looking at, and I'm like, all right. I mean, I guess we the national champions, but is this like a national championship or my wife ain't here? One of them UCF national championships. Just saying. Look, I be picking on her about that too. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I do definitely be like, y'all ain't really win no championship. Y'all just beat a good team when people wasn't playing. Like just saying. Also, Swingman class is coming up. If you are a fan of baseball like me, especially FAMU baseball, July 12th, they got that coming up. And I forgot to put it up here, but don't forget, if you are a fan of my favorite baseball team, I cannot find my cowbell. It's somewhere. But the Tampa Bay Rays having FAMU night, they definitely have a little package. We can go in there, get the package, get an orange green Tampa Bay Rays hat. Just saying, it's on the list of things to do. If you see a brother there and I'm half asleep, hey, just let me enjoy the air conditioning. It's gonna be a long day. The good brother Cap outside, turning incorporated in Winter Park, Florida, having a golf tournament that same day. So we're gonna get some of that going for y'all though. I might have to upload that right fast. Might do that right fast. Also, if you are not a member, look, tomorrow, if you paid your dues, today's your last day. If you're not a life member of the Rattler Boosters or the National Alumni Association, them dues come due tomorrow. So yeah, just letting y'all know what's up. Don't blame the messenger. Don't charge me, cause look, I ain't gonna hold you. They ain't gonna see that tomorrow from me either. I'm still a teacher. School's out. Like I did summer school, you know. I normally do the tag, but no escape game for me tonight. So sorry, My dude's back there somewhere though. I don't know where he's at. Oh, here he is. Look, I got you, y'all. Look, I'm one of them. One of my family things fell over. Look, my little special ops guy. That's for my game. Told y'all, man. I like little trinkets, and I like little things. Keep my little rattler snake on here. What's up, little baby? So yes, but as mentioned, and if you just caught, I tell you, BCSN with Brian AD Drew. Look, AD did a full-time line. Look, he went to his bag. I hit the highlights. I was like, I'm just gonna hit the highlights. I ain't gonna sit up here, go through everything, bring up some of the old stuff. Because then AD Sites could be looking at me like, why are you bringing up old stuff? And I'll be like, because these niggas don't like you. Like, I don't know what to tell you, baby. At this point, you at the halfway point. And look, when you come to work, hey, you might as well just go on hit it up and be like, shoo, you had a few months left. Y'all know y'all been at that job. You like, man, I've been there this long. It's about time. I'm thinking about it being time. I remember when I was working at Publix, that thing hit me. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna make this a career. This is fun. This is cool. People pissing me off though. I got to go. I think 80 Sykes is there. But it kind of started before she got there. So if y'all remember, kind of how it started. Again, if you want the details, spreadsheet list, I almost asked Brian for it, and Brian's such a nice guy. He probably would have like gave it to me, but I know AD had put in that kind of work, so I was like, I ain't gonna steal from him because I had already started. But if y'all forgot, we kind of get here partially, well, fully, because the whole situation with Courtney Gaucher. Like we kind of let him go. However you feel about that, that's how you feel about that. Whatever you know is what you know. Like I said, I'm not gonna besmirch this man's name. And he was all right. But the biggest thing, what I'll say, to give Gaucher some credit, Gaucher has put in some good business deals. And some of those business deals ain't here no more. We kind of talk about some of those. But yeah. And I do like, again, we're not competition, we family. But if you just caught it, Brian did a great job of kind of like breaking down like a little bit more in that OBC deal to kind of be like, it wasn't completely her. She had a piece, but it's kind of those things, similar as basketball coach situation. You listen to somebody, you think they in the know, and then you kind of realize I kind of messed up. Yeah. So Gaucher leaves. And honestly, APR wasn't the strongest when he was there. So, he leaves, interim AD. And one of the things you're going to see, FAMU has a formula of failure. I'll say that. And the number one component to that formula is understaffing. I don't care what it is. I don't care what department it is and where it is. When you see that there are long lines in financial aid, stuff getting processed late, which honestly, some of that financial aid stuff is on y'all. Y'all know what y'all doing. It's okay. If you want some help, hit a brother up, or holler at your financial aid bro. But that's a lot of it. You talk about long lines in football stadiums. You talk about this as far as stuff not getting in on time. You start to kind of look. A lot of times, FAMU's biggest problem is personnel. Like, and it's not that we just got rude customers. Like, it's that or rude staff. is that we don't hire enough people. And in this case, when it came to the whole NCAA fiasco, that was the case. You had like two people trying to service all those sports. I mean, if you really think about it, football by itself should probably have its own person because, yeah, NFL is what 53-man roster. FCS football, you're talking about like 80 players, 90 players. You go over across the street, you deal with 100 and something. So honestly, with FAMU, once you had walk-ons and everything else, probably dealing with just 100 kids for two people to deal with the whole 100 some kids that are with the football team, the ones that are on roster and the ones that are kind of off and trying to help with your APR, clear the books, whatever, plus all the other sports teams. I mean, there's no shock when the APR goes up this year when you hire a person who's really good at APR and they increase the staff. And I love what Mike pointed out. APR was as low as 898 when he was here. I mean, she in the 900s. Look, I'm telling y'all, I want you when you're right. I'm not the biggest. I don't bash you. I'm not the kicker man when he's down, but I'm definitely gonna state facts. And yeah, go back and look at the APR for a lot of these sports. Before she got there, a little rough. Now, Michael Smith did a pretty good job, though. He tried with what he knew. But you had that come up. Then you get the whole selection of the AD, which y'all have heard about. Like, and AD Drew mentioned, she wasn't exactly in the original top 5. But you know what? She made the final 3. Hey, and let's keep it a buck. This one, it's on Larry. Like, that's on Larry. And if you look, y'all know me, I stand on data, I stand on business. And the reason I don't have the articles just sitting up here, because as you can already see, it's slowing up the computer a little bit. But this is who's this guy? Not like he was just on the show. Gerald Thompson, Dallas Democrat. He wrote a great article. Gerald's a really good writer. Like, really cool dude. Love Gerald as a person. But you can see right here, he writes the article talking about AD Sykes, all her part. And the part that I really came down to was Larry. Like, because as mentioned, this one's on Larry. I'm going to close that because they ain't paying for nothing. Look, HBCU Digital ain't got no funds from them. Not recently. But Robinson made the final call in finalizing the hire. Like, that's on Larry. Like, because as stated, I know, and a lot of other people, first choice wasn't her, but she made it. Larry, we are happy to welcome Miss Tiffany Dawn Sykes into the FAMU League. He said her credentials are impeccable, and her demonstrated commitment to excellence are what we need to move our program forward. I'm excited about this hire and look forward to working with her to take FAMU to the next level. It's a quote's done by Gerald in the Democrat. It continues, I must also extend a special thank you to interim VP Michael Smith for his exemplary service. I want to thank the student, staff, coaches, yada, yada, yada. So again, this one is on Larry. That's like, so yeah, you can't get too upset with the powers that be and the OBG without realizing, hey, she was Larry's pick. And to a certain degree, I started to question how much of this is some of his doing, as far as like some of the pulling out of some contracts and some other things, and some of it is just like his not doing. Larry cares about sports. I'm gonna dispel that myth. He cares, but I get the vibe that he's that person that cares, but that is also like, this ain't my bag. So while I may care about it, I may want to win. I can't tell you everything about how it works, but I can tell you I want it to work. And that's what I get from him. Kind of like, for me, it's like when I watch soccer. Don't ask me what the hell is going on. I really, I know like just enough to have fun. Like I go to Orlando City games down here, and they're fun. It's a vibe. But don't ask me all the fouls. I know some of the basic fouls. I know hands. I know some of the tripping rules. But half the game, I'm really just I'm cutting up. Like I'm cracking on people. You slide and you over there laying on the ground. Man, get up, stop being a punk. And the people in the stands are laughing because they want to say it, but I'm just a fan that's just gonna be willing to say it. And we 5 seats from the pitch, and the coach looks it back at me and starts laughing. Like, yeah, he is being a punk. Like, just saying. Like, and look, you're right. Some FAMUans are bad customers coming to the FA with incompetence, paperwork, and expect folks to bend over backwards when you come to the office. And, you know, I feel like the worst part, and I'll jump way ahead of this, about us as poor customers. Sometimes, man, we poor customers with bad facts. Like, one of the problems with the many attempts some folks have made to like fire this lady, man, you don't have your facts straight. Like, you'll be up there like, she said this and she said that. You like, she didn't say that. She did this. She did that. But she didn't say this. Like, if you're gonna fire her or get her fired, at least have your facts straight. Like, I appreciate William Newman. He was on the show a few weeks ago, and I witnessed him in a meeting pause somebody. Like, hey, you might want to back up from that. We need to move this. Like, he hit every Robert's rule of order to stop that person from saying something stupid because they were just like, I just don't like this lady. And I want her gone. And they were looking and reaching. And it was like, look, man, I get it. I understand you upset. I know why you upset. I'm pissed off too. But if you gotta have something to stand on. Yes, I don't like her shoes. Can't fire that lady because of that. Like, it wasn't that trivial. It was damn close. And it's like some of that, you, you know, you got to get that going. You got to get that straight. Now, this is where some of y'all had a little business to stand on. OBC, we dropped from the OBC. A lot of money. Look, and I don't always watch off script. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And it's not a disdain. I have no issues with Scotty. Like, it's not even a rivalry or anything. It's just, look, there's how many of us producing content. I try to watch as many of us as I can. And sometimes, look, the show come on while I'm working, and I just don't get back to it. Like, but one of the things Scotty did a great job of pointing out, I believe about a week or two ago, he talked about the OBC, and he really talked about why it was set up. I was like, okay, mentioned he had a conversation with Gaucher. If you haven't seen Courtney Gaucher's moving from Tulane, I believe, to Nebraska to another position, but he kind of explained the rationale for doing the OBC the way it was going to get done, and to try to look as make that easy money. And I was like, okay, I like that. Now, me personally, I'm not making 2 trips to Miami for you, and it specifically is not for the UM game. Because honestly, the OBC is fine for me. It's cool. Honestly, it's for me, the OBC has become a summer vacation. Like, just to kind of like take y'all behind the curtain a little bit. The wife and the kids, we like to go. Now, the last time the wife went, the hotel was trash. Like, sorry, we stayed at a Hilton, and it wasn't Hiltoning. But last year we went. It was my daughter and I, and we met my cousins down there. We stayed at ABC Suites. Bruh, Look, my daughter was like, "Are we coming back next year? And if so, we need to bring the rest of the family." I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. That for us, OBC was a family vacation. And honestly, I think it's a great opportunity if you can get it back. And as mentioned, it was easy money. You're looking at, I think the number was about $1 million in a 2 week frame, guaranteed cash. When you got like FAMU and Miami playing, which that's that's it. That's great money. Look, I got nothing for that, honestly. And as I stated, once you kind of get out of your whatever season of people saying we want to have this extra home game, I'm all for trying to get the OBC back and really proposition the SWAC like you have Grambling and Southern. Like, hey, I respect the fact that y'all are Grambling and Southern. I'm not trying to take anything from y'all's relationship, but y'all see the attention FAMU garners, good or bad. Like, who else are you talking about in the SWAC right now? Look, this homemade tea today. Mm, Cutting calandra. I put that sugar in it. Matter of fact, that one's got honey in it as well. It's fire. Orange blossom honey. But look, if you come down to Central Florida, get a little orange blossom honey in your system every once in a while. Keep it from being all, you know, y'all know the phrase, that hacked up. um, and no, we don't have to. But if we were in the OBC this year, we would have had to. Um, but yeah, that was the plan. Plan didn't come to fruition. It would have been nice though, as far as money wise, trip wise. But I think going forward, once you kind of get back, like I said, you try to get that going back. We also talked about other places getting there too. You see where the Jaguars new stadium's getting done. Hey, try to see if you can get up in there for some of that. And like I said, OBC was a vibe. Look, it's Brian Musa family. You know, good environment, fun time, pretty easy to get to as far as like travel, international travel, whatnot. So just saying, that was a big thing because you lost a lot of money. But then the other part is some of the other lost contracts. Like, I'm just saying, look for some Craft Nissan stuff around Bragg Stadium this year. Just saying. Uh, we're gonna see what happened to Piggly Wiggly. Like, what we're not seeing is some of this increase in finances come in. Like, she's fixing the APR. I can't take that away. But my questions are starting to come in. You know, we had a couple botched situations here, and especially, namely, uh, yeah, we heard what Street Committee says, heard what Willie says. They both took the high road, but we all kind of know how we feel about this. Like, honestly, in the moment, definitely felt some type of way. Later on, felt less some type of way. But at the same point, you kind of mess that up because after he leaves, what do we want? Cozy. When do we want him? Now. What don't we want? The mother mofos you trying to shop us. And the worst part of it, you were told this by your customers. Like, we kind of hinted at the customer service part and how it can be lacking. But this is an extreme mess up in customer service. Like, the customer says, hey, I just had this really awesome coach. I want this other guy who's from that same coaching group as the new guy. and you pass him over twice. Like, just saying. Like, Cozy better man than me. I'm just saying, because third time is a charm. But I'm telling you now, you pass on me twice, whoo, that's a tough sell. Especially when the supporters say, hey, just give us somebody else's staff. Give us Cozy. I understood why you wasn't going to give Ryan Smith the job. I got it. I understand that. I realize the politics in that. But at the same point, uh, can you give me who I asked for? I mean, it's like you go to Texas Roadhouse. You know what it was when I got here. Like, don't come over here trying to tell me everything else. Bring me the bread. Like, you know what I came for. I came for bread. I came for average steak that I'm gonna get cooked below well done, so it's tender. But you know what I came for. We came for the bread. We told you what we wanted. Hey, we want the Cozy. Give us the Cozy. South Florida, ties, played at FSU, multi-sport athlete, been on the coaching staff for a few years. What's up, HBCU Band Talk? Give us the Cozy. Look, congratulations. Look, I ain't gonna say that dirty curse word he got up there. Hell no. But look, I had to tell somebody today, Cookman gonna do better than y'all think. They just signed a quarterback. They didn't get the quarterback I thought they was gonna get. I thought they were gonna get my boy from Jones, Calvez. I think he was like Carson Newman. But they just pulled in another quarterback. Man, if he gets some offensive line, he got a transfer from Albany State. We've actually had his dad on the show, Coach Sapp. If you go back, look in archives, Coach Sapp is a BCU grad. His son is now on the football team, transferred in from Albany State. So, look at that. He started out with a Rattler, and then he ended up going to the Wildcats. But look, Cookman's a good 3 linemen and a piece away from being competitive. Look, don't think this classic you're gonna be dog walking BC who again. I'm just saying. But again, you had the coaching thing where that was a thing. Like, your public says we want this guy. No, I want that guy. I won't want him. And to give her credit, every coach but the bowling coach has been solid. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I can't take nothing away from you. Now, the bowling coach, I first guessed. I ain't gonna lie and say second. Go back and watch. I was like, she kind of young. She's like 26. She just stopped playing a few years ago herself. Man, I don't know, man. 26, Division I basketball coach. Man, you kind of close in age, man. Like, I know me at 26. Man, I know how I know how I am now. 26, and I had no filter. Like, and if I said it, I meant it. I still say it and mean it, but I'll pause myself. Like, I catch myself. Like, if you were catching the show at BCSN, look, Mr. Campbell made a comment about AD is like, starting on fries at McDonald's. And I was like, man, you're supposed to at least, start by washing lettuce. Because, first, you start by washing lettuce. Then you go to fries. And that's where the big bucks come in. Like, I was there. And I was like, I ain't going to be this petty on wax. Like, because for me, it was jokes. Like, I was going to put that in a comment and it'd be jokes. And somebody else going to read that and be like, oh, he's saying, no, I was being funny. Like, if it hurt, it hurt. But then but it was a joke. And it was there. And look, I told y'all can't get me, AD, and Brian together. It's gonna be there. Look, some of y'all just want 50 to 60-year-olds coaching. I ain't gonna say that, but she had never coached before. Like she had never been a head coach. She had only been a GA. Like that was my thing. She had been a Gremlin. Lord, she went to Jackson State, graduate assistant at Valparaiso, and then they didn't have the best season. So it was like, if you would give me a young, unproven coach, yo, at least give me somebody that's winning. I mean, give me somebody that's kicking butt from the saving tree, and say you're gonna support them. Like, oh, okay, cool, because that's gonna be culture shock. I digress. But you had, should we finally get Cozy right? Finally. Took a couple times. Like, should have been happened. Cozy was the guy, and he's been classy about it. Dr. Cozy, I believe. I believe he's got a PhD. But again, got the bowling situation comes up. Like, and as Mike points out, it's bowling. Nobody cares. At this point, they just don't like you, lady. Like, and I said they, because I tell y'all, I have no problem with AD Sykes as a person. Nothing. Like, do I love all her decisions? Nah. Was the basketball coach the coach I truly wanted? Not exactly, but you know what? Once you read off his credentials, I was cool. I'm like, that's a good hire. I'll be honest. Coach Gordon, I was kind of like, she ain't been a head coach nowhere. But you know what? I'll wait. Good hire. That was a good one. Like, they're really good hire. Look, I'm with you when you're right. But at this point, when it came to the bowling, it starts coming to the point where we don't like you. I should say they don't like you because I'm not in the we. I told you I don't care. And now with the basketball situation, yeah, this brother just caught a straight bullet. Like, because no one cared when some of these other guys got cut. Like, y'all were not up in arms when your top defensive end transferred to Jacksonville State, and you didn't care. Like last season, you can't even say his name. I'm just saying, you're not up in arms asking Colsey what the hell you're doing when General Hunt leaves, when Sharif Say leaves. Shall I continue on? Anthony Dunn leaves. Nobody's over here calling for Colsey to go. Why? Well, partly Colsey kind of earned that right. Like, he was on the staff. He's the person we said we wanted, right? But at the same point, this is why I say, are we sure that this is the dream you had? Because this looks like dreams and nightmares. Because the dream job really meant that you were going to solidify the streak. And in some ways, she has. We've won championships. None of them were coaches she hired, but we won championships. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like you go any other place, you got somebody that wins an award that was already there, and they on your team. Hey, just saying. Like, and look, that's why we hit the show today. Look, her contract is half complete. Once she wins her second Celebration Bowl, she'll have 2 years in and can easily coast her way out of here by this way next year. Hey, bro, I ain't lying to you. If I'm her, it's over. Because this thing that I thought was going to be a dream is really proven to be a nightmare. Because in this dream, FAMU has some needs. And some of these needs require more than what we're probably giving and getting. Look how I did that. I was purposeful. I was not trying to lay all the blame on her. But first, we need some better and more corporate sponsors. Not saying the ones we got aren't good, but we need more. Like, part of one of the things that when you built this team, this dream team, see what I did there? is you brought in a person that was over business and finance. That was, hey, bro, you the finance guy. You're supposed to make sure the numbers are numbering. That was part of the issue when early in the year, folks are like, we're at a budget deficit. What the what? Now, granted, some of that is just accounting stuff, which I give credit where credit is due. I believe Kelvin Rozier, cousin Kelvin, mentioned that on ONG Strike Zone, and he talked about how slow some of the checks come in. And we even saw with when we pulled up that FSU contract that they had with the Camping World Bowl, really not Camping World Bowl, Camping World Stadium, but ESPN. They wouldn't get that check till about 30, 40 days later. So it wasn't even like, hey, all this is done immediately. Here's your check. There's a certain timeline when they got these funds. What's up, Marvin? And so some of that is what you can attribute some of that non-balanced budget to. But I think also when you're looking at the non-balanced budget, some of that is just a lot of our naivete, not understanding that most sports teams are losing money. Like most college sports teams, athletic programs are losing funds. Like most operate in the negative. It's the exception that you operate in the black as an athletics program. Now she was, celebrating that $500. Hey, you're in the black. Because guess what? If she would have said we're negative, she'd have caught more flack for that too. So look, at this point, as Mike pointed out, you halfway through, man, just ride this contract out, baby. He hit you with the renewal, hit him with the Willie. Like, nah, baby, I got better plans. I'm gonna go over here and work for the other man. I'm sick of these black people's jobs. Sorry, look, it was right there. Go work for Trump or something. Got to deal with these black people's jobs. But the other thing is, we need fundraising, and we need better fundraising. I give her credit. We joke about the raffles. The raffles made some money. Do we need better fundraising options and more efficiently? Yeah. And to a certain degree, the boosters can only do so much. And I'll give her credit. Go look at her Twitter page. And I think she may have put on Instagram too. She was promoting some of the booster events. Namely, I believe the booster kickoff was the one she was pubbing. Appreciate it. Like, thank you. We need you to push booster events at everything, because every dollar that they make goes back to your pockets. Ain't like nobody, none of us that are helping the boosters are getting paid. Everything we do is at a cost to us, and we paid to be members. So look, my membership runs out in about 3 hours, and look, and until July something, I'm just gonna be volunteering and not an active member, because look, it's the summer and a brother's a teacher. So I might though. We'll see if some things hit right. And look, sponsors want to give money for what you're heading, like not just what you've done or where you're heading. Sorry, show them a few new 1,000 boosters and alumni on the books, and corporate ears perk up. Precisely. And I think that's part of where, with the fundraising, you got to continuously push them. Like you see with the people across the street, they push their boosters several times. If you can get a ticket, good luck. But go to one of their games, you will see them mention their alumni association running ads at Doak. The boosters running ads at Doak. Even the marching chiefs run ads at Doak and say, we need some money. We while we appreciate the kind that jingles, we rather the kind that folds. But either way, we need some bread. I think that's one of the things that we need. That look, UCLA, excuse me, that hurt my eyes, posted a $36.6 million deficit in the fiscal year 2023. Most departments don't make money that the street committee assumes. Exactly. Again, a part of this is They don't like you. And at the halfway point, look, just keep cutting this check. I ain't gonna ask for no raise. I'm just gonna try to ride this out. Like, I'm just saying. Because it's that piece of a lot of your stakeholders don't want you. And they're not making it, I don't necessarily, well, yeah, I'll say it. They're not making it easy. Like, now some of this is, you know, you got a part to play in this too. It takes two to tango, is what old folks say. But at the same point, we have to improve some of the stuff. And as Mike mentioned, you got to sell us more than just the investing in champions package and increase prices. And what do I get for investing in champions? A parking spot and some tickets. I mean, that's cute. But I can get parking spots and tickets anywhere. How is that unique? Like, honestly, the ring thing, smart. Hopefully, you taxing a little bit so that FAMU gets a cut of that. Like that should be something where extra $25. Whatever. I'm not telling you how to run your business, but I'm just saying, if you tack on a little bit and you have people that are buying these rings, that's a little bit of funds that come to you. Like, just saying, especially if you want to be real persnickety, you can even earmark those funds for the teams that win the rings. I'm just saying, like, I think it should go to the general athletic fund, but if you want to be like that, you can. But the other thing is, as Mike mentioned, you gotta have some facilities upgrades or something. Show me what I'm buying. Show me what I'm paying for. Like, go look at the cam of what they did, what they're doing across the street. And hell, look at Bragg. Look at Bragg now. Look at Bragg 10 years ago. The facility is decreased in size, but it looks better. I'm sorry. Like, Bragg looks like a better stadium. It's brand new. Like, did you lose seats? Yeah. Was that the best way to probably do it? No. You probably should have done a better job of trying to keep capacity near 25,000. If not, try to increase it. Or have some places where you can consistently put in temporary seating so that you can take advantage of games like homecoming, because you're already violating the fire code every game. And look, I'm sure the fire marshal over there, he getting some fish and everything else, so he don't care. Like, hey, as long as y'all don't start shooting and fighting each other, we good. But again, what are we presenting to you that's so attractive? Like, I'm just saying, like, we don't have anything to me that I feel is truly attractive as a corporate sponsor. Like, I think the NIL thing and the NIL ideas she's provided, I think those are great. Like, I'm gonna give her credit. Telling people to support the players the way she has, great idea. But at the same point, you got to give these sponsors something more than just the website. Because at the bottom of the website, you have corporate sponsors that just roll across there, which that's good. And that's a step. I'm not gonna poo-poo on that. But at the same point, where's the visibility in the stadium? Where's the visibility in the gym? Where's the visibility on campus? Like, I think as a corporate sponsor, I think we can give them more. I think we give them a better value. Like, and look, that's the AD job, to make it look attractive, the foolishness. Hey, man, I got nothing on that. Look, I ain't seen no videos. I've heard things, but I can't verify things. But I really think we got to do more to make it more attractive, because no homo, you have attractive coaches. Like, Colsey speaks amazingly. Like, and I'm not trying to hit the he speaks well thing. That came out wrong. But what I meant was, he presents himself and he's got a confidence about himself. When he's talking, it's easy to buy into what he's saying. You can believe that what he's saying he's knowledgeable about, and that if you follow the plan and the idea he's given, it's gonna work. Like Coles is really good at that. If you talk to Mike Rice, the golf coach, you learn pretty quick that he's got a love for FAMU and that he has a dedication to his players and student athletes. Like, and look, Cozy stands on business all day. Like, even Coach Pressure stands on business. Like, I love her. As I told y'all, that hire at first, I was like, yo, I don't know, man. She ain't been a head coach before. But it's like, yo, she got these credentials. She's coached here. And part of her success, to me, yes, she played at a place like Tennessee. But she kind of she left a little resource school. Like, Mexico State ain't the best. It ain't trash. But it's like you came here and you came to FAMU and it's like, okay, I'm gonna cut my teeth and I'm cool with that. But watch me flip this roster. Like, and watch me, you know what? Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna flip this roster. You know what? Give me your hand and I'll turn this into something. Literally, it's like when you playing spades and that old lady walk behind, you don't know what you're doing. You got like 5 books right there. I ain't got but 2 of them possible. Shit. Let me get that. And next thing you know, she over there talking cash. I got a cousin Clarita like that. Like, be talking cash money. And next thing you know, she over there smacking. Yeah, I told y'all, look, 9 books, 9 books. He didn't know what he was doing. Get off the table. Get off the table. My table. Like, that's literally what she did. She came up there. Oh, Coach Pillow, you don't know what to do with this hand? I'll play this for you, baby. I went to Tennessee too. Yeah. And just ran it. Like, look, same thing. Look, softball coach. Like you got, and that's kind of why it goes back to where I mentioned about I like coaches that got a little bit of youth to them, but that got a little bit of experience kind of get it out there. Because you got to be careful getting somebody too young. Because they don't have that, they might have a work ethic, but they don't have that coat, that seasoning, as you saints like to say. Your words aren't seasoned and sanctified. Uh, and I think when you start to look at FAMU's coaches, and she fell into a really good hand. Like, just start looking around. You have a baseball coach that your first year wins a conference championship. He's done that before. You get a track coach, you inherit a track coach that, okay, that's a solid book right there. All right, looking at this. You inherit a football coach that's never had a winning season after, yeah, and is a program builder. All right, that's 3 books right there. All right. I had 2 basketball coaches. I mean, that's 2 threes. All right. I'm just saying, you start to go back and look at the hand she inherited when she got to FAMU. She had a pretty good hand. Like, if we talking space talk, it wasn't that bad. Like, it was pretty good. She got what she got, and I'm happy for it. I love it. Like, I'm just saying, look, West Florida just submitted a plan for 40 million of stadium improvements to the BOG, and part of the budgeted revenue is from anticipated corporate support. Where's our stadium enhancement? And the city just gave you a new one, but I'm with you, Mike. Like UCF, but at the same point, and this is my thing, I'm gonna tell anybody when it comes to UCF, you cannot compare FAMU and UCF. Like, you can't compare UCF to really. There's only really 3 schools you can compare UCF to, maybe 4, and that's FSU, UF, USF, and maybe FIU. Everybody else, they're playing a different ball game. So yeah, some of y'all gonna be like, UCF just got a new stadium. UCF has 70,000 students. UCF's in Orlando. Like, their season tickets are sold out and have been sold out for months. Like, they have more students than they have stadium seats. FAMU is the inverse. Your stadium is about twice the size of your student population. I mean, I'm with you now, but look, when I tell you that name right there, before I moved down here, that dude literally pays for kids to go to college. And I'm not saying like, oh, here's no. That dude targets kids from Tangelo Park, which feeds Dr. Phillips, and Paramore, which feeds Jones High School. And he normally picks kids out of that neighborhood that are seniors. And every year he's probably paying about 30 to 50 kids full tuitions, everything included. Don't matter the major. Like, yeah, just saying. Like, exactly. But at the same point, UCF has, first and foremost, they have a naming rights deal in their stadium, which y'all ain't going for that because some of y'all are dying, go somewhere else before you name that stadium anything but brag. Like, I'm just gonna call it, let's keep that what it is. Like, you wouldn't sell the naming rights to the field. Now you'll sell some bricks. You'll let somebody name a locker, but to put a corporate sponsor at Bragg Memorial Stadium, some of y'all will die and go to hell before it happens. Like, but everything up there, the basketball arena is named for a credit union, local credit union, has been for years, and their basketball arena about the size of the Lawson Center. Doesn't look like it, but you would be like, you walk in, this is bigger than ours. Not really. Lawson Center is pretty big, but again, you get no money from it being called the Lawson Center. The CFE Arena generates how many millions of dollars per year just off the name? It's like a million, couple 100,000. I mean, same thing with the FBC mortgage, the bounce house. Oh yeah, soon as they lose a corporate sponsor, the next month they flip that. Yeah, we need somebody to sponsor this. I can't think of too many facilities on UCF's campus that are like sports wise, major sports that don't have a corporate sponsor. I'm gonna put that out there, leave that out there. You take that what you want with it, do what you do with it. But I'm just saying, one of the things Mike pointed out, what do we have to offer? You got some stadium rights. You think about what's $1 million of FAMU right now. I'm just saying, hell, $500,000. I mean, you're underselling the value of your product at that price for some of them. But if you can get a half for the football stadium and the basketball arena, that's $1 million. That's $1 million. You don't think, homecoming at that? I mean, you got 11 games on TV. About 5 of them gonna be at home. So if you're gonna give me, and this is my pushback, and if you're gonna give me 5 home games, I'm with it. Love it. Can we get a corporate sponsor? Because all of a sudden, that's 5 games where, hey, you're at Bragg Memorial Stadium. Love it, respect the history, but we gotta monetize this. It's 2024, 2025 in a few months. We gotta get to a point where we're making money off some of this. If you don't want to change the stadium name, cool. I've even said it before. Name the gates. Do something. Entrance gates. Something. Like scoreboard. Like there's space to be sold. Hell, you can sell the parking lot. Not sell it, but have a sponsorship for the parking lot. Oh, that sounds really stupid. When you come to the Kia Center, sorry, it's not Amway Arena anymore. The parking garage is the Geico parking garage. I'm just saying, it sounds stupid until you realize other people are doing it. It's already done. It's being done. When I go to events at the Kia Center, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. When I go to the soccer games, I look for parks at the Geico parking garage. because I would much rather walk 2, 3 blocks, 4 blocks in a parking garage than to I'm gonna park in Larry's yard over there for $50. Nah, give me that 15, 20 in the parking garage all day. Hell, it could be 30 or 40, but you know what? My car is gonna be there when I come home. When I come, my car is gonna be there. I'm gonna hit the 408. I'm on my way. I'm just saying though, some of these may seem innovative, but they're things that are already being done. And you may not be able to charge the price that the Kia Center charges. You may have to, hey, you get this in on the ground level for this price. But you know what? Once that money crosses your hands, it's clean money. And at a certain point, you do have to get to the point where you're monetizing your facilities. We got things to sell. I'm just saying. Like, look, I wouldn't turn Ted Turner down either. Ted Turner, Nat Turner, distant relatives, TNT. Look, how much money could you have made? Like, the other thing though, we need facilities upgrades. Like the baseball stadium, trash. You need a whole new baseball stadium. Like you go to some of these other places, and I ain't gonna say across the street because it's a nice facility. Go to Gainesville. That's a minor league stadium. You go to UCF, that's a 2-tier baseball stadium, all aluminum. It's not that. I would. This is me, and this is what I would do as far as for some of your facilities upgrades. And you definitely did that with Bragg. I would talk to the schools like UCF and say, "What did y'all do?" Because this ain't no grand facility. Like everything they got up there looks like aluminum. So I know you ain't paid top dollar for this. You got it for the cheap, but it looks nice. It's gonna last for a while, and once you slap some marketing on there, it starts paying for itself. Again, how we got to reinvent the wheel all the time, but you got to keep improving facilities. You did good on the tennis court. You've resurfaced that. Solid job. Softball facility improved. I think that was kind of negotiated. Wasn't that Gaucher that did the new turf? But she did new batting cages. Just, give you that. Basketball needs a practice facility. Like honestly, Gaither needs to be redone. Like we just redid the floors. You probably got to do some more things to Gaither, just to like facility wise make it something that's useful. Because in theory, in a perfect world, Gaither's your practice gym. And it doesn't matter what happens at the Lawson Center. Because honestly, FSU doesn't practice in the Tucker Center. And at the same point, while we talking about corporate sponsors, that ain't making them no bunch of money. So you can't just be like, well, they're doing it. Nah, they ain't got no, I can't name anything over there they got corporate sponsors for. So, if I'm gonna chastise you, I gotta keep it honest with you. Like, look, it is. But if we're gonna get asked for UF things as alumni, you can't ask for UF it and not do UF it. If you gonna say apples to apples, if you're gonna do UF stuff, you got to do what UF alumni did. A UF alumni paid for that stadium, just like Ben Hill Griffin built that stadium. Paid for stuff to get built. A UF alumni paid to get that baseball stadium built out of his own money. You got to have a FAMU alumni do that. Kind of like the Will Packer thing. You'd have to have something on that level happen. So again, I'm apples to apples. Just because apples and oranges are fruit, they ain't the same. Like, but like I said, for the basketball thing, you really should turn Gaither into your full-time practice facility. And the cool thing about Gaither, you could really split it up to a certain degree. Like you could share the facility about between volleyball and basketball, and you could have them rotate, have times, and all of a sudden that can become a multi sport area, really. And if you really want to kind of go next level with it, once you decide what you're going to do with the track, if you're going to move it to brag, follow through with that. But make sure the track athletes have a locker room where they can just walk from place to place. I mean, you can kind of make Gaither a central area. Just saying. But that's what it should be in the time being. And honestly, for now, it should be your practice facility. So that way, it doesn't matter what the Department of Education does. Because guess what? It doesn't matter what goes on across the street. No one cares. You can have a monster truck rally and everything else going on there Friday night. If Leonard Hamilton says we got practice, they're going to be at the practice facility. They're not waiting on the Tucker Center. And I think that's one of our weaknesses and one of the things that we kind of don't realize is that, and yeah, they just got a pretty new floor there, but we just have to make sure that we commit to that. But then also, you got to find the dollars because you could only tap the boosters for so much. Ain't but 300 of them. Like, you can only hit 220 so many times. Ain't but so many of them. And some of them are boosters, 220 F Club and NAA. So if I'm splitting that many groups, you know, it is what it is. So you kind of got to get that going. Like, where's the money coming from? You're saying a lot. To be realistic, UCF just got approved for 100 mil upgrade to a new stadium. USF got approved. West Florida got approved for a new stadium, and they got to borrow 25. FAMU showed up, and Larry and the lady got talked like. I mean, but that was based on academics, and honestly, and that's why I pointed out with UCF, part of it is size, and it's also location. UCF has deep ties to billion-dollar companies. Disney is very connected there. Rosen is very connected over there. Like, again, all their major facilities have corporate sponsors. USF, they're both well, all their major facilities, even though they don't own the football stadium, I'm pretty sure the football stadium they build will have a corporate sponsor. Basketball Arena is a corporate sponsor. It's the Yingling Center. I mean, been there. It's a nice facility too, completely redone. Like, so that's where the money is coming from. West Florida, again, it's by itself. Like, who else is out there in Pensacola? So some of this is location, but some of this is also the fact that they now have something to do. Like, what else is there to do besides go to the beach over there? Like, everybody's not a University of Alabama fan. Again, they kind of growing it and got out the mud over there, West Florida. So, yeah, South Florida hit them up. But yeah, and FAMU, he did get credit though. Like, they did give him credit for the things that were done right. They did talk about us being the number one HBCU. So, as much as you read the negative comments, I highly encourage you to, if you didn't watch, go watch the actual broadcast. They do say some good stuff about FAMU. It's not all doom and gloom. There's a lot that needed to be desired. And if you listen to the people who wrote stuff, you would think, oh, FAMU was the lowest. And we weren't. We were actually like kind of middle of the pack. And as we mentioned, UCF got slapped on the wrist real hard. Like, FAMU wasn't the only school up there. The largest school in the state got a firm, fix your stuff because your numbers are falling off hard. Florida Poly, same thing, which Florida Poly is kind of they have a different circumstance. So, not over here trying to defend Larry because I'm with y'all. But just saying, you definitely, you got to make sure that you caught the whole Board of Governors thing because there is a lot, and there's things that are missed in that too. So, but I'll hit that up. I got y'all. Other thing, look, football, need a new field house, need new bathrooms. But the question is, do you even bother with football? Like, honestly, you practically have a new stadium, and on your plans, says you're trying to build a new stadium. So, and yeah, now the nightmare, because these are kind of the dreams. The nightmare of this is you got a really messed up relationship with your donors. Now, granted, shout out to the people who are in DC. Like, I respect y'all coming out there and supporting. But some of this, you have to build relationships, rebuild relationships with your stakeholders. But you also got to point your stakeholders in the right directions. Like, just saying, some of these stakeholders, I didn't know this. I wasn't included in that. Well, are you a booster? I mean, just saying, because she's not telling NAA about all this athletic stuff. Why should she? That's not the NAA's job. NAA is not about athletics. They give to athletics, but if you really want to be tuned in and know what's going on with athletics, you need to be a booster because she goes to the booster calls. She sits there, she has a moment, she talks, they have public comments, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, she don't do that for NAA. That's really not what the NAA is for. Like, I get it. And a certain level of stakeholders, you should be involved. But at the same point, if you want to make sure you're involved, it's $100. That's all. I mean, just saying. And look, right here, look, says FSU had a lower bar passage rate than us and weren't talked about crazy. It's partially because their alumni didn't talk about them crazy. Like, I'm with y'all folks who get upset with certain folks about how they talk about FAMU because I'm with you. Like, I don't always share everything I know, but at the same point, I don't share everything that's rumored either because sometimes the rumors ain't exactly always right. Like, street committee is undefeated, but the street committee is undefeated because they don't have to validate anything they say. Like 80% of the time, 90, 95, street committee be right. But sometimes it's better just to sit back because you get that added bit. Because look, I'm with y'all. Look, I'll be over here like, yeah, well, that's the tea right now. But sometimes folks just too quick to just spill the tea. Like, and look, we need alumni leadership to take control of a capital campaign for athletic facilities. We need to get involved and put up whatever money we can. I agree. And I've said this before. I said in the booster meeting. I've said it on here. For this to truly work at some levels, look, hello, street committee don't pay no bills. Facts. I don't know. Sometimes they do. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times they do. They be paying bills they don't be knowing about. But we have to really figure out a way as these DSOs to get into ownership of some stuff. We got to get off of leaning on membership, like, because one of the problems with membership, especially with certain organizations, and I call out the boosters, you pay for a lifetime membership, you never pay again. That sounds great. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm kind of like, yeah, let me see, give me a couple years, I might become a lifetime booster, and it's a wrap. I mean, I might throw you a couple extra 20 or 30 a year, but look, y'all to hit me for that lifetime once, it's over. If I become a lifetime member of a certain fraternity, I still got to pay dues. I may not have to pay like certain national dues, but I still got to pay chapter dues, and I still got to pay some of the other dues. Like, at certain points, you got to modernize. Like, and look, we can be our worst enemy, especially in public spaces. It's pathetic and has consequences. It does, because it's interesting when someone is talking about what's going on with FAMU and it stays within us. But the problem is when it gets outside of us and we're just freely sharing the tea and dishing the tea, and all of a sudden you got somebody coming at you like, oh, what's going on at FAMU? I mean, this. Man, y'all can't never get it together. And it's like, well, do you know the full story? I mean, I ain't nobody got no time for that. All right then. So you just want to bash the university. You punching down. Okay, cool. That's fine. I get that. But at the same point, we did it to ourselves because, as mentioned, look, and I loved FSU law had a lower passage rate than us and weren't talked about crazy. Precisely. As I pointed out, UCF, excuse me, they had a decline in their 4-year enrollment numbers. And when you sat up there and watched that board of governors meeting, Buddy was like, he talked to him worse than he talked to Larry. Like, it wasn't no like nice stuff. Florida Poly, look, that man gave him the pretty much, you don't get your shit together face. Like, he literally was like, and that dude was like, hey man, COVID. The first thing out that man's mouth, COVID. I knew right there. It was at that moment. He effed up. Brother was literally like, COVID. Yeah, these are the first group of COVID kids coming in. These students suck. Like, in very simplified terms, that's what that man said. We ain't getting the quality of engineering kids that you would think we would get at Florida Poly, and that's really all we got. We don't have any backup programs. We only have engineering. But again, you ain't had no Florida Poly alumni dropping all that business on the T. All that tea didn't come out, did it? Mm, mm. But the tea about FAMU came out. Like, I'm just saying. And FSU fans could be a pain and talk negative about what they're going to. Oh, yes. That's part of why shoot. Man, come on. Look, I am a diehard Tallahassee fan. FAMU, FSU, whatever new name is for my community college that I went to, Tallahassee State College, I think. Go back and listen to how they talked about Jamie Shute. Like, when he was pitching coach there, they talked real greasy about him. Like, and not being able to do it in Omaha. And then, granted, they got cheated that first game against Tennessee, but proceeded to get blasted this year again. And I'm saying that as a fan. I ain't saying that as somebody just talking trash. So, yeah, FSU folks do talk real greasy about their program, but at the same point and place, they do a lot more of that grease talk within their group. Like, it'll come out, but some things stay home. And they also, it's not as frequent. Like, you talking about, when you go back, and I encourage you, go over there and catch AD Drew and Brian's show from a few hours ago. Literally, AD Drew listed out how almost every month there was some FAMU foolishness. Like, I think that's the difference, because FSU had that period. Y'all remember when Bobby was a coach at the end and Jimbo was coach and the coaches was fighting each other? I ain't never heard at FAMU where the football coaches are fighting each other. You know what? You don't believe me? Google it. Chuck Amato, Jimbo Fisher. That's all I'm gonna leave you at. I'm gonna leave it there. I ain't gonna go to them all. Look. There you go. There's some FSU for you. I'm just saying. Football coaches are literally fist fighting each other. Look, just saying. You can go verify. Go check the Jeff Cameron show with that. Look, you can go back, check the archives. You'll get it there. Just saying. You got coaches who got scandals, who was over there messing with players. Students at Florida State and had to leave. Look, the tea and the dirt go both ways now. Don't play. Keep no. I know where some of the bodies is buried. Look, I just stay to myself with some of that. Look, I ain't gonna lie. I knew your boy was keeping it on the down low. Better keep it. I knew he was in the closet. I was keeping that business myself, though. Well, outside of, inside, outside the family. Inside the family, I told y'all what's up. Look, just saying. But look, FAMU too quick to want to run outside the sources and put someone on blast for a personal beef they have with someone else instead of keeping it real. Exactly. Like, we know why certain things happen. Like, and look, it could also be because social media wasn't as big. Exactly. People run to social media with everything, and we have adopted this exposed culture. Everything doesn't have to be talked about publicly. Facts. And I think that's the other thing though. Like, because let's be honest, in the SWAC, we the entertainment. It's FAMU. Who else are you talking about? Like, you're not talking about Cookman. And I pointed out, and then y'all know I'm a FAMUing through and through. But I was just like, hey, they just signed a quarterback. Like, Cookman's been signing some players last couple weeks. Nobody's talking about that. I mean, you might have your people that specialize in talking about HBC recruiting who mention it, but it is not the T in the SWAC spaces. Like, not a lot of people are talking about Alabama A&M and what they're doing up there. Like, I challenge you personally, go look what that school's trying to do. Like, they are in a place and a spot where they are really focused on expansion. They are done in the past 3 years. They built a new basketball arena, albeit it's small. It's like 5,000 seats. They're building new dorms, I believe. They're building a new main area in the middle of campus. They're looking at buying an additional campus in Birmingham, where Birmingham Southern College is at. Like, but what's the T? It's FAMU. Nobody's talking about that stuff. Like, so, and look, and in the SWAC, we know these other schools have more internal foolishness, I'm sure, but they just talk about each other and keep it off the podcast. I'm just saying. Like, and I'm a podcaster. And every once in a while, yeah, we joke about the team. But most times, look, by the time I hit the jokes, it's broke. Like, somebody done told y'all about it 3 times. And at this point, we laughing about it to keep from being mad. Miles is also trying to get it. And honestly, that's not a bad move. At one point, they were trying to do like a joint thing where the school shared it. Man, that thing would be cool. I ain't gonna lie. But you start to see here, like, some of the fix, because it has become a nightmare for our AD. You definitely got to fix these public relations because you got a year and a half left on this contract. And at this point, Larry got 1 year left on his. And if we're going to keep this all a beam, don't nobody want to keep neither one of y'all. Like, both y'all are getting some heat. And the people that are backing you are getting heat. Do y'all see, like, yo, go back and watch that BOG thing because they were talking down to Larry, but they were talking down to some of Larry's supporters too. Like, they had their feet to the fire, and them coals was hot. Them folks are ticked off by that 235 mil. And y'all want to know the real piece about that? It's not about, it ain't got nothing to do with the 230 plus $million. It's got nothing to do with the money. It's about pride. You embarrassed us. And when I say you embarrassed us, I'm not talking about FAMU. You embarrassed the board of governors. That's why your feet are being held to the fire in a different kind of way. Because if you would just embarrass yourself in FAMU, you've been doing that for months. This is nothing new. But it's the fact that, oh, shoot, record giving? Oh, we're sharing that. Some of them shared that on their social media pages. They went up there and was like, see how you always talking bad about FAMU? I told you FAMU was coming up. Yeah, 200. They was talking big. Woo, I almost cussed it. They was talking big junk Dang. Look, I think we lost it. All right, so that must be the sign to be. All right, y'all. So look, I have a backup. You ain't gotta get ready when you stay ready. So, but as mentioned, y'all. So I think what our biggest issue, though, with that board of governors is that you just pissed them off, and they had their names on it. So, all right, y'all. That was my sign to get off. So for HBCU Digital Network, this the Fangs Up podcast. So we face some technical issues, but look, I told y'all you ain't got to get ready when you stay ready. But y'all already know it's always gonna be Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic